Stop scrolling. Don't y'all hate when people tell y'all that? But for real, I'm going to go ahead and put my camera down. If you're still here, most likely there's something that I'm about to say that God may want you to hear. So, some of the deepest wounds you will ever carry often do not come from people on the outside. Sometimes they come from family members, sometimes they come from relatives. And what God really put on my heart today or this morning when I was going for a walk was these people, they want the old version of you. They want the broken version of you. But God said no. These people wanted you around when you made them feel better about themselves. Because we know the saying, the quote, insecurity is loud. Okay. But they wanted you around because you made them, at one point in your life and in their life, you made them feel better about themselves because maybe you weren't where you needed to be at that time. Maybe you were asking for help. Maybe you needed the help. Maybe, you just want you needed some time to get on your feet. And these people want that old version of you. Now that you're becoming who it is that you're becoming, they don't like who that person is. They don't know that person. And they look at you almost like, who do you think you are? You remember way back when I used to have to such and such for you. Those are the conversations that they have with you now. And God really put this on my heart to get out this morning. And I said, I'm gonna get the word out because what it is that we actually don't realize these people do not want what's best for us. And forgiving them does not mean that we have to go back around these same people. We can forgive them and love them from a distance. And it doesn't really matter, if you come from a family to where maybe your mother wasn't around, your father wasn't around, maybe you were raised by your grandparents or an auntie or uncle. When it comes to who it is that you are becoming, that's so much more important than what you came from. And even if never had a role model, even if you've always looked for, celebrities or, basketball players, football players, singers, whoever you could find, whoever it is that you try to, say, okay, I want to be more like this person. We're in a time to where you have to you're becoming your own role model because there's things that maybe the person that you thought you looked up to, you may have saw, along down the line to where maybe they did something and you're like, okay, I don't look up to them anymore. But the biggest takeaway from what I'm going to say here is that it's important for you to know that it's time for you to continue to build, to rethink some of the things that you thought in the past was okay. These people, if it was people in your past who did not appreciate you because they felt like they were on a higher, they were on some kind of pedestal, and you were below them, it's okay for us to move on. And when it comes to looking inside, of yourself, when you look inside yourself and you really dive deep into the things that, the beliefs that you have, a lot of these things are based on the way that we were raised. And a lot of the things that we're doing, even into today's day, it's based off of the beliefs that we have created. And those things we act those things out. No matter what background you come from, you have the ability to do things and achieve things in your life. You are responsible for your life. Nobody else is responsible. And you're responsible for the things that you tell yourself. You're responsible for the relationship that you want to have or that you need to have with God. What I would say in my own personal life, when I was not putting God first and I was just thinking that I was bigger than life, I was thinking, oh, I'm here, I'm doing this, I'm achieving all of my goals. I'm making a vision board and I've already done everything on that vision board. It gets once you feel like you've done everything, guess what happens? You either God either puts you in a situation to where you now have to face him, or he puts you in a situation to where people are coming to you and speaking to you about him. So we're going to all get to this place. But again, the biggest takeaway from here, from this message, is going to be these people wanted you around, and they had you around to make them feel better. And because God is saying no, that you can't be around these people anymore because he has his hands on your life. He has his hands on you. He has his hands on everything that you are doing, or whatever it is that you have to whoever it is that you have to become. He has his hands on that. And so he says no. He says no to them. So whatever it is that you need to do to continue doing what whatever whoever you're becoming. And that's why I named this channel Becoming, because when it comes to anything that we do in life, we want to continuously get better. We want to get better at whatever it is that we're doing. We want to achieve our goals, but we want to have God by our side. God is the center. God is the center. He really is. And I think when it comes to everything that we do in life, if we keep God at the center, he will always make sure that you are successful in everything that you do. That is my quick message here for you all. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.